Welcome to Spokane Soul Center Dharma Recovery. 6 p.m. and at all times and at all places because we're also on Zoom. I'm grateful to see everybody today, both on the Zoom screen, which I'm going to switch to so I don't have to look at myself talking, and in the room. Um, and thinking about waywardness and uh, and skillfulness, and just I just went and did a little bit of research and came up with uh, the five precepts. Um, Something I never really talk about, and it's been a good journey because at first waywardness I just didn't like that. It seemed like the word sin or something like that to me, but having done this, it doesn't anymore. Wayward to me feels more like being off track. And being on track is important. I spent years working at a as a teacher in a drug treatment center, and when I say years, I mean 25 years. It was a quarter century, and they had the red road, and the idea was always to be on the red road, and you could step off the red road to the right or to the left, but you could always find your way back to the red road if you tried. So now I visualize waywardness, having lived with that metaphor for so long, as being off that path, as being off the path to liberation, salvation, whatever you want to call it. So I looked in these and I wanted to also expand on them a lot, because the precepts is abstain from killing, abstain from theft, abstain from sexual misconduct, abstain from falsehood, and abstain from intoxication. So it almost sounds Ten Commandment y to me. And I do recognize if I do these things that I am not on my red road. I am not on the path to liberation. And it feels so I'm a modern American, and a lot of us modern Americans like to phrase things in the positive. So I think, what do I think of when I think of these things as skillful? And how do I want to have a broad and encompassing concept? Um, so killing, would that include, many things? Um, Things that I may politically support, but that other people view as killing. And if that is truly their view, then they would not want to participate in those things. Or if I went to war, would that be against the precepts? Or eating meat? I do eat meat, and I do have concerns about me eating meat because I do feel like I'm eating sentient beings. I do hear the other arguments for it, but that's just where my mind's at. If you eat meat, I'm not trying to say you're doing wrong. I'm not. I'm talking totally from my perspective. But I look at those. And if I participate in practices that cause other people to die, like if I decide I want a resource or a product that causes other people to die elsewhere, am I participating in their deaths, and am I not living skillfully? Am I wayward? And theft. If I'm a business manager and I demand, obviously, if I come and steal your car, that's theft, right? If I'm a business manager and I ask my employees to work during any break time they may have, or to work time beyond their clock time and not take pay, am I living according to the precepts? Um, if I cheat on my taxes, Am I living according to the precepts? And again, I'm not here saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying these are things I ask myself as I approach this mindfully. Sexual misconduct. Does that just mean cheating on my wife? Or can it mean an awful lot of other things? If I go around catcalling men or women, is that sexual misconduct? If I engage in online pornography, is that sexual misconduct? If I watch a racy episode of Game of Thrones, is that sexual misconduct? Again, just to reinforce, I'm not saying any of these things are right or wrong, but I'm saying these are things I would ask myself in living according to the precepts and in living skillfully. Falsehood, lying. If I'm spreading rumors and I don't know if they're true or not, am I not living according to the precepts? Um, if I engage in discussion online and make claims without knowing whether I'm right or wrong, am I living according to the precepts? And intoxication, and I was so blessed to have read so much by Thich Nhat Hanh for years. And intoxication does mean my uses of food, my my past uses of alcohol, my um, compulsive lying. I count as one that I don't engage in, and my uh, anger. I use my anger as a drug to avoid things in my life. And I count these all as intoxication for me. So if you cut me off and then I go following you down because I'm following you around because I want to flip you off or yell at you, I'm intoxicated. And Thich Nhat Hanh would go into mindful consumption. And Thich Nhat Hanh would believe that I would be intoxicated if I was engaged in conversation that was not skillful or entertainment that was not skillful or eating foods that were unhealthy or consuming media that's not healthy. You would consider these not in the precepts. And now for the skillfulness. Um, there's a quote from the Bible. It's the fruits of the Spirit. I'm not going to say the whole thing. And I'm no longer a Christian, but I still have memories of some of these things. It says, against such things, there is no law. And the skillfulness that we practice against such things, there is no law if we practice these things. Almost everyone's going to think it's wonderful. So, compassion, generosity, respect, honesty, and mindfulness, including mindful consumption. These five things, against these things, there is no law. And if I practice these five things on a daily basis, then I don't have to worry about the do nots because the do's take care of the do nots for me. So, would it be compassionate for me to kill someone or to buy a product that may lead to someone's life being degraded or them dying? No. Would it be generous of me to steal from someone? Would it be respectful to practice sexual misconduct to my wife and to the many people who would be victims other than my wife? Would it be honest for me to tell lies or to make up stories or to be involved in conversation that I don't know the whole truth about and that causes harm? Would it be mindful for me to drink, to binge, to lie compulsively, or to let myself have a good dose of rage, a good hit of rage? Skillfulness. And I think of my use the with any substance for me, um, it seems like there's three stages that take me off, and I'm focusing on the intoxication and the use because so many of us here are addicts. And by the way, I'd argue for me, addiction, it means that in all five of these areas, at some level, I'm off kilter because addiction tends to lead to those things. May not be true for you, but for me, it has been. Um, I have an obsessive phase where it's all I can think about is participating in the behavior. Um, where am I going to get this substance? Exactly what substance am I going to use? What are going to be the conditions of the use? Where am I going to be? Is there going to be anyone else there? Am I going to be by myself? And I can spend hours, like when I used to wait at work so I could get home to drink, I would spend a lot of time thinking, what am I going to drink when I get home? Where am I going to drink? What's going to happen? I would be thinking about that. And even the thoughts were redundant. It's not like it changes at all. It's just a constant rut that I let myself get into, an unskillful way of living. And then there was the use. And for me, this was almost always the shortest phase. Um, I drank a bottle of wine. I was really a wino. I really liked wine. Um, I eat a whole entire pizza followed by a pint of Ben and Jerry's. Um, I make up some huge lie to entertain myself and entertain other people to either make myself look cooler or different. I get really upset and bask in self righteousness and fantasies of vengeance and what I could do to hurt people who are not in agreement with what I think things should be. So I would use. And to me, it was almost always the shortest episode. And then after that, there's the hangover and the shame, being sick from eating too much food, having to tell more lies to cover up the lie I told, the feeling the guilt and shame over getting so mad. What kind of person am I? Am I a good person for being this way? That would always come up for me. Drinking too much, just being physically hungover, and the shame. And the shame and the hangover all led me back to the obsession, led me back to the use, led me back to the hangover, led me back to the obsession, led me back to the use, led me back to the hangover. The next thing I know, I'm caught in a cycle of samsara. So we are gifted these precepts and we are gifted the skillfulness that helps us not participate in these things. Compassion, generosity, respect, honesty, mindfulness, of which I'm very grateful for. I just want to do we're pretty far in. I want to do maybe a minute of chanting, maybe a little more, and then a minute of just following our breath, and then we can go into sharing. So a chant is going to be a very basic one who was made by another Sangha member here. What one day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. And then I will tell us when we have silence. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. Let's take a while to just breathe. You can repeat the chant in your head or just follow your breath.
Dedication of merit.
May we be happy and peaceful, or may all be happy and peaceful. Oh, do we? May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.
Namaste.